Hello everyone, my name is Masha and today I'm here with my sister.
Anastasia, but for English people it's better Anastasia.
So my sister is here visiting from... Where are you visiting from?
Actually now I'm living in Czech Republic. I am still in shock from that, but I am there for almost 1 year.
Yes, so she's visiting from the Czech Republic, and just like we did with Maya, who is my other sister, we're gonna do a Q&A. So I am the middle sister, Maya is 8 years younger than me, and Nastya is, what, 5 years older than me?
5 years.
Yes, so I'm 21, you're 26. Alright, so we wanted to film a couple of videos, but we didn't have that much time, so for this time we're just gonna do one, and then maybe next time we'll do another video similar to how we did with Maya, where you try a bracelet. But today we're just doing a Q&A. I've got some questions from you guys. So first of all, the question was, what country are you from? You're from Russia? Yeah?
I'm Russian, yes, but half of my life I lived in England with the family, and now it turned out that my life is now in Czech Republic.
Yeah, so, you know, life has thrown you around in many different countries.
Yes.
And also the age difference was also a question which we already answered. So next question is for you. Do you make bracelets?
No, I have never done that. It seems to be very difficult because I am not so patient. I can't sit for 1 hour and not...
More than an hour, trust me.
I have actually started to look at all the videos which she's filming, but I have never tried it.
You've never tried it?
I have
like
never
at all?
tried at all.
Maya's tried it in like summer camps.
I am older. At the time when I was a child, we didn't have such things.
You did Scooby-Doo's though.
Yes.
Yeah, when we were kids, you did Scooby-Doo's. I mean, yeah, it's different, but like still.
But
some of my subscribers send me mail, and some of them send me like Scooby-Doo's. I also feel the need to clarify, because like I did this with Maya as well. When Maya was here, people ask us like why we speak different.
We don't speak different.
We do speak different. I mean, come on.
Speak to the hand.
No. I mean, realistically, like both you and Maya don't speak British. We sound different. Maya sounds different because Maya was only 1 when we left. You sound different.
1.5.
Okay, that makes such a big difference. You sound different because you were 8 when we moved, and I sound British because I fit into that age category. I was 3 years old when we moved to the UK, and I was 10 when we left. 10, 11, 10? I don't know, something like that. So I learned English like as anybody else learns English. I sort of just picked it up. Whereas you both had to like actually learn it. What is your favorite bracelet that I have made?
It's not very a bracelet.
Yeah, I'll insert a picture of the dog keyring, yeah?
It is my obsession. As soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I remember calling Masha and saying this is the best thing that you have made, because I know that she made bracelets, but I never thought that there is a possibility to make some other things from strings, not only the bracelets, but also, and the keyring is just... It's just made my day.
Yeah, it belongs to her now. It's
and
her
now
keyring.
I have it.
Yeah, I just gifted that to you. If you were to have a channel, what would your channel be about?
I really love gardening. I like to grow up things from seeds and to see how it develops, how it grows, how at the end you have tomatoes, cucumbers and everything else. So yes.
And I like to eat those.
And I am absolutely a fan of it. I have already been doing it, I think, for 5-6 years, and I know it's a hobby usually of grandmas, but things happen.
So maybe you could do a channel about that?
We'll see.
What do you think about my channel is also one of the questions.
I actually like Masha's channel, and I know how difficult and how interesting it is, but to see how much she edits, how she thinks about it, how she thinks much more forward than we actually see it now, because she has so much in her head, so many plans, and it's very hard to...
How do you know about this stuff? It's like we don't live together. How do you know about this?
I know about this.
Like we don't live together. You don't see that happening.
Maybe your husband writes to me.
Okay. There's something going on there.
So yes, it's full-part job, which is actually very hard to organize because you do it all yourself and you have no people who tell you what to do, how to do.
Yeah, it's also, it can be really difficult as well in the fact that because nobody's there with you, you don't know, like, what do you do? You have to figure it out as you go along, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it is also very hard because I've always worked in some companies, in some places where I had people who could help me, who could teach me, who could...
But it is very nice, like, it's very rewarding. I really enjoy it because, like, I get so much out of it. It's like my creative outlet. I do put a lot of work into it, like a lot of hours. Honestly, I work probably more hours than like a normal job because I go to bed very late, I stay up very late just working on this, but I enjoy it a lot, so it's worth it for me.
So I'm happy that you finally found
my passion.
Your passion, and it's just good that you decided to.
Yes.
Because actually I have, when I looked at your videos, I didn't know that you did those bracelets so long before that in America when you were already filming it, your voice was so funny.
I was a baby. If you don't know what she's talking about, I did a video showing you guys all my first videos and stuff that I did on YouTube. I'll link that. You can check that out later.
For so long, so it's like more than 10 years, she's actually in the passion of knots and strings, and that I actually didn't know about that. So she did it somehow.
I only really started doing it in like 2009, and in 2009 we weren't living together anymore.
Yes, because I lived in a different city and studied in the university there.
What was it like to live in London?
In London it was, well, I was 8. I didn't speak English. It was very difficult, but actually during the first year, I don't remember how I learned English, but I remember at the end of the year I was already passing the exams, science, maths and English, and I actually passed quite well all of them except for English because it was difficult. But my teachers helped me, and I remember my first day at school I couldn't find the toilet because I didn't know how to ask. And then I went to the boys' one.
Well done. That's nice. I think it was a bit easier for me. It was more difficult for me in one sense, but in another sense it was easier, of course, because I was so small. I was only like a 3-year-old. It was easier for me in that sense, but also I remember being terrified. The way that I learned English was literally they just put me in a school.
Just like in water.
Yeah, it's like they threw me in the deep end, yeah. Like they literally put me in, my parents, they put me in a school, me knowing zero English at all, they put me in an English school and I had to like figure it out.
Yes, but you had to play with toys. I had to learn.
True, I know. I just remember being terrified though, because like I was 3 and I was crying all the time because, you know, I mean kids cry when their mums bring them to school anyway.
You were.
But I was terrified because nobody understood me. Nobody understood anything I was saying and I didn't understand anybody else. I was terrified.
I was also.
But yeah, a year later you were passing exams and I was pretty much fluent.
I didn't learn so fast as much.
Yeah, I mean kids pick it up much faster. The younger you are, the easier it is. Yeah, by 4 years old I was completely fluent. I even started reading earlier than some of my peers who were British.
Because our parents studied with us a lot.
Yes, that's true, they did. Now that you don't live in London anymore, what is your favorite place to visit?
Yes, I love to visit just the places where we used to live or where we used to go because
nostalgia and everything.
And it's just, I remember this. I went down this road when I was very upset that I didn't pass the exam or something.
That's a great memory.
Or in this shop I remember going with my baby sister in the pram. For the word.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember it was actually very funny. We had a shop, not a very big one, so all the workers there, they knew us because we went there quite a lot of times. And I remember actually one very funny thing that we went there. I went with my mom and baby Maya in the pram, and I was standing just in the shop, but where the magazine was, or something like this. And my mom went quickly into the shop to buy. And then the 2 men were standing and who worked in that shop, and they were standing, looking at me. I'm standing with the pram. The baby's not crying. Everything is. I'm like, why are they looking at me? What is wrong with me? And then one came to me and asked, I'm very sorry, but can we ask you one question? I'm like, what is? What? Okay, it's your baby. I'm like, I was in such a shock that I said no. It was.
They have a 13-year difference. So Maya is now 13. You were 13 when Maya was
13
born.
and a half, yes.
Yeah. So like not a very big one.
And yes, I was probably the same size like I am now. So.
Yeah. What did you say?
I said no, but then I was in such a shock. I'm like, why are you asking? We were just talking with my colleague and we made a deal. Is it your baby or not? So I'm very sad, but I lost. I was in such a shock but of
it's a little bit invasive, but
no, because in England there are
a lot of
young
teen
moms,
parents, yeah.
And so
still, like, it's not something you ask. It's a little bit personal.
But it was just so funny that I was standing, they were looking at me. I'm like, oh! And then he finally came and I was in such a shock that he asked me such a question that I'm like,
yeah.
No.
Alright, that actually quite relates to my next question. This question is for both of us. What did we think when our mom got pregnant with Maya? So, sister number 3. What did you think? Actually, yeah, when mom got pregnant with Maya, you weren't living with us for that year.
Yeah, so
then you came back right
before,
when Maya was born, yeah.
3 days before, yes.
Oh wow, yeah. Then we're not gonna get into it, but like just that happened.
Yes, so I found out actually and actually Masha told me, and I'm like,
I told you? What?
Yes, you told me.
How did I tell you?
You came to Russia in December, and you told me before, and I'm like, Masha, not funny joke.
Did they not tell you before I told you?
No.
Why?
Because they wanted to make a surprise.
And I ruined it.
Yes. But I still didn't believe you. I said...
I do not remember that.
I remember that. You were running like crazy mad and jumping and jumping. I'm like, what? Our mom is pregnant. Not a funny joke.
I do not remember that.
And then in that day, we went to a restaurant.
I remember none of this. I was like 8, but I remember none of this.
I remember that as well. A lot. It was very funny.
So what did mom say?
That she's pregnant. I'm like, so Masha didn't make it a joke? No. But it's very strange when you don't see like a sister and your parents, and then she said it in such a way that it seemed like a joke, because she was so mad about it and she couldn't control.
Excited.
No, yes, but I was not expecting to hear this.
But were you happy at the news?
When I understood that it is true, and I think at that time they didn't know it would be a girl.
Yeah. Did you want it to be a girl?
Of course.
I wanted it to be a boy, and then Maya came out and disappointed me.
I remember when me and you were, when mom's still pregnant, that what color hair will she have? What color eyes? Will she be a left-handed or right-handed?
Oh yeah, because Nasty is left-handed.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm right-handed, so.
But don't think, it's absolutely normal. It's not a disease. People are the same.
What? Why would people think it's a disease?
Actually, I used to work in the hotel as an administrator, and I used to write a lot because I had to a lot of signatures, and people literally were looking at me and saying, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "What? How do you do it with your left hand?" I was like, "How do you do it with your right?"
Yeah.
And seriously, people look at the people who write with the left hand, absolutely, like they are, I don't know, it's just normal. We do everything the same. Actually, when I moved to London and I went to school, and teachers gave me scissors for left-handers, ruler for left, something also, I said...
Pens,
I don't remember.
Yeah, we had like special training pens to put your put your fingers.
I'm not able to use this. I'm from Russia. Can you give me normal, please? Because in Russia at that time we didn't have any specification for right, left hand. I don't. In
Russia, everything is in like brutal mode. It's like you know, when you start your game, you choose your setting. Russia's like hard. I remember being very excited though when we found out that we were having a sister. I found out by accident. Like they weren't planning on telling me.
Yes, because
I got sick and I couldn't come to school. I told this story when we did the video with Maya. I was sick and then Dad was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the cinema today," and I'm like, "Okay, what are we gonna watch?" They're like, "We're gonna look at what's in Mommy's tummy," and I'm like, "That's boring." I didn't get it. Like I couldn't figure out what he meant. Like that's boring. Like why would we want to look at like intestines? That's not interesting. And then mom was like, can you stop making fun of the kid? Like, just tell her. Oh, maybe we have one more question. What is your favorite memory? Do you have a favorite memory of the two of us? What? Another memory, something that is appropriate.
I told you yesterday what memory.
Yeah, okay, something appropriate maybe?
No.
You don't have a favorite memory of us?
I do, and that is it.
Okay, any other one?
I remember how we used to play together with the cushions. We made some islands from them. We were jumping and made some...
Yeah.
And actually I remember how we made some role plays for our parents for Christmas.
Yeah, we were putting on like different plays from Russian fairy tales. Yeah.
Books. Oh, yes.
Yeah, like different, I mean, I can't really say them because like nobody's gonna understand, but like just like Russian stories that we would act them out for our parents.
Yes, and they really liked it, and we were in different roles.
Yeah, but like we completely made it up on ourselves. No, I mean, obviously the story was there, but we like adapted the story. We learned our lines, we made costumes and props and stuff. It was fun. And now we're all grown up. We each have, well, I have a husband, you have a fiance. We live in different countries.
But much closer than...
Yes, we're closer to each other than we are to our parents.
I'm in the middle.
Yes, so I'm in London, Ness is in Czech Republic, and then our parents are in Moscow, so right in the middle between us. It's easier to fly to you. It's like an hour and a half.
And cheaper.
Yeah, and cheaper.
Much cheaper.
Alright, yeah, I think that's it. That's all the questions we have for today.
So guys, I'm very happy to meet with you. So next time I will come and I will certainly try to do something, but I'm worried that my hands are not able to.
That's gonna be a fun experience. Did you watch the video we did with mine?
I did, and I think her hands are better than mine.
Okay. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see each other again soon. Maybe you'll come so we can do this again, because we didn't have enough time this time.
It was just quick.
Very spontaneous trip, for a very short time.
Next time we will plan it before and longer. Follow Masha Knots.
Oh my god, that sounds so cringy. I don't know.
Because she has so much more stuff which she has in her head, and you will certainly like it. So
my sister said it must be true. Well, thank you for coming over and filming with me.
It's my first experience being on the TV.
Yes. TV.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Well, yes, as I said, hopefully we'll do another one. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and sometimes I post bonus videos as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.